Alright. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Great having you guys coming back here. I hope you guys doing fantastic. I know, of course, majority of my viewers and my subscribers are in the US, and you guys having a great celebration tomorrow, the 1st of July, the Independence Day. So you know what? I guess this is the perfect timing to bring, in terms of my view, it's a perfect pyramiding heaven. Two tools that goes hands in hands. If you're looking at the time back 50-60 years ago, those tools are essential, absolutely essential to your daily life, and of course all the way to the survival in any given environment. That is two things I love, that I held very dear position in my heart, that are watches and folders and the knives. Of course, I love them all, but you know what? I thought about it. Should I just talk about the knife, or should I talk about just watches? But you know what? I'm not turning this channel into a knife channel. Of course, I'm not in any position to do that. I'm not expert. I'm just a humble guy having a couple things that I think will truly enhance the quality of my life. Take to whatever the works to you. But you know what? Those 9 watches and 9 blades, they play together extremely well. They match its forms to one another. The colorway plays to the harmony, but you know what, most importantly, from a design language, they do talk to each other as well. I'm just having a bit of fun here, guys. Of course, you guys know what I mean when it comes to knives. Majority of the country, even in the Western world, having a very restricted rules in our society. We talk about here in Australia, you can't carry any one of them, regardless of the length of the blades. It will be against the law if you carry any of those folding knives out and about without a legitimate reason. Of course, for example, if you are a licensed of a gun holder and then you're going out for hunting, or you go for any specific reason, but you cannot carry knives around in Australia. Of course, the same thing goes to my viewers in most of the Europe. I believe you guys have a very similar rules there. But of course, majority of my viewers and subscribers are from North America. But in saying that, I do know the rules in Canada is actually getting ridiculous as well. So you can't really carry any one of them to most of the places in Canada, as far as I know. But guys, you know what? Let's talk about this concept of independence. We should all celebrate any given day as our Independence Day. This doesn't just apply to US, of course. I think 1776, the 1st of July, is the day that you guys celebrate over there of exiting the tyranny of the British Empire back in the days. But you know what? I know this is more than 250 years ago, but you know what? The concept of independence should never ever change, because we haven't changed much in terms of who we are, regardless how advanced or how much further we have climbed on the realm of advanced society or the moral standards. But you know what? Deep in our heart, none of us is perfect. We'll have flaws, and that goes to any authority or government. We should hold ourselves accountable to everything that we do. So be free, be independent, be responsible, look after yourself and the people around you, and fight back against anything that you don't think that is doing the right thing for you and your fellow citizens. Doesn't matter where you're at, and I hope you're staying well and safe. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna go into those 9 watches and blades. The way I'm gonna go through it, I'm gonna, of course, this is not a review. Those are beautiful things in front of me. Those are the reviews, not a reviews for any particular watches or blades. Again, I'm not claiming that I have an authority or expertise on anything's on the table. But you know what? Again, if you guys love blades, love folders, you guys have a culture of carrying a folder around you since you're very young in the US, or you guys just want to have some entertainment today, it will be a fantastic show. Okay guys, I promise you that, and hopefully you will enjoy the process and the video as much as I'm making them. So let's kick it off with, maybe we'll go from the back. Okay, so what I have here, the first pair is the Seiko S&J 025 Ani reissue with Uncle Strap straight ending 22mm oyster bracelet. This watch screams quality when it comes to survival situation. It is extremely accurate. It's got traditional design of the tuna shroud. Extremely tough. It will survive through anything you throw to it. But most important of all, it is a solar movement. So you don't really need to wind it. You know, the time accuracy is going to be very high to a standard that you can rely on. The blades that I'm picking for this watch will be a very tactical blade. This is a big knife. It's the CRKT. I think that stands for Columbia River Knife and Tools. This was actually the very first premium blade that I sort of bought almost a decade ago. The M21 Kit Carson design. It is fantastic. It is a big knife, but you know what? I think both of them speak to each other in abundance because they scream survival. They screams quality when it comes to reliability, and you can truly depend on this pair. If you go out for hunting, or if you find yourself in the middle of the forest, have nowhere to go to, have no help to ask for, and you have to survive in the wild for a couple of days, I think if you have this pair around you, you will be very pleased. Fantastic. Let's move it on. The second pair that I've chosen for you guys is this. Of course, the watch is one of my truly favorite. The second gen Seiko Sumo in Jade. I've had a full service. Of course, now the time accuracy is as good as any other Seikos that I have. Pretty much to a 2 to 3 points. 2 to 3 seconds faster or slower a day. Paired up with this beautiful strap called Super J Jubilee bracelets with the custom inner link. It just looks the boss. And the blade, the folder I'm going with, this is a traditional legendary, one of the very I wouldn't say sought after because it's made it very available in all markets, but of course this is, you guys know this already, this is the Ontario Rat number 1. It is a big knife, sort of match up the bulkiness of that Sumo J, but most important of all, the color. The color just is brilliant when they're sitting next to each other. I think it will be a fantastic pair. If you had them with you as your big bulk EDC carry, you will not be disappointed. Okay, love this pair. Without a shadow of doubt, one of my best watches that in my collection, as well as the legendary Rat 1. Moving on, we have a of course this is the Benchmade made in US Super Freak fantastic blade. Because of the name of the Super Freak, I truly believe the monster will play into the part extremely well when they are together. The color is amazing. That texturized G10 handle, it is the best G10 I've ever felt. The grip on it is tremendous. The axis locks works like a charm, and with that second gen Seiko monster, this just screams monstrous, that impactful design, uniqueness to its truths, and most importantly, still remain, if not one of the most functional watches as two watches that you'll be able to get. Of course, this is a limited edition of the second gen monster. I truly love it. Every time when I put it on, it gives a massive smile on my face. And I think this is a tremendous blade to go with it as well. What do you guys reckon? Super Freak M4 Benchmade with the second gen Seiko monster. Another perfect pair in my eyes. I love them all. Now, moving on. We go from left again on the table. We have, I think this is a great selection, guys. Comment down below if you like blades, if you like watches, if you don't like what you see. I select them with my heart because I think they really go along with each other extremely well, from a colorway and design language, of course, to the overall aesthetic of the watches and the blade. And this, without a shadow of a doubt, I think out of all the pairs, this speaks classic. Everything you need and nothing that you don't. We have the legendary XKX 007, and I'm pairing this with, of course, this is another blade that made in US, the photo of legendary Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This is in G10 handle. Absolutely loving this Spyderco. Actually, this is the only Spyderco that I currently have. Of course, very much looking forward to extend my collection of the Spydercos But I think for those two, they were, you know what, even you talk about, if you're watching this video 10 years later on, and you're looking at this pair, you know what, they will be still very much in high demand. I can pretty much guarantee both of them. So they will do extremely well on the secondary market if you want to have a pair like this. And I think it just screams quality, and most important of all, they are lovely. They are absolutely fantastic together. The Spectacle Paramilitary 2 and the Seiko SKX. Classic never dies. Now the one in the middle is another favorite pair of mine. I think they go along with each other really, really well. That is the Seiko, of course, without an introduction needed. This is the King Turtle with the sapphire crystal and the ceramic bezel. And what I do have selection for the King Turtle is the Cold Steel Code 4. This is a fantastic blade. It speaks greatly when it comes to design, because look how thin that is, and at the same time, both of those remains the highest functionality and reliability at the peak of their own area. Look at that. Look how thick that lockback is. It is fantastic design by Code 4. I think one of the classic in the modern times. They just go extremely well. Green on green. This one is on aluminum handle, so a bit more flashy, of course, a bit more slippery at the same time compared to a traditional G10 handle. But the flashiness of I just gotta show you guys the blade. It goes extremely well together. Large watch and a large knife. Fantastic. Moving on, we've got a few more to carry on. Will be a very popular a pair. I think when I post these photos in my community tab, people always love it. Of course, we have the legendary SNA 411, the Flighty, and very popular especially in the affordable segment of the QSP Penguin. Of course, this is in a more worn tone that I selected with the brass handle and the D2 coated blade. When you carry them on in autumn, when the temperature sort of drops, you know, when you see the leaves falling on your background, it is a fantastic pair. It's a pair that made to each other, and it plays fantastically. You see that warm tone of that Flighty, that yellow part, and with that brass scale, I think it is a fantastic pair. Really loving it. Hope you guys enjoy this pair as well. We've got another killer pair here. Of course, this is not a King Turtle. This is a traditional SRP 777, the Black Turtle. And I think about what blades can be made perfect for this, and that will be another modern classic by Cold Steel. This is the Cold Steel Lawman. Fantastic pair. You have a designer watches that absolutely, you know, it has its authority in its cushion shell design, classic design, and most importantly, at its best function. Easy to read time with 201 meter water resistance. You will never go out of style. Same thing for this Lawman by Cold Steel. You have one of the best G10 Kirby handles with that thick blade in a very manageable lens overall. Fantastic for EDC. But most importantly, you know, this is the pair that you always be happy to carry on you when you facing the uncertainty of your environment. You'll be very happy to knowing those tools is something that you can rely on with your survival or daily needs. The one in the middle, of course, we know a very popular watch of the Seiko 62 Mass. I think this is a fantastic watch. Of course, I'm loving it because it is more of a SPB in the premium range of the Seiko, but more importantly, when you're looking at those two together, they really speak to yourself. If you carry them, of course, at the requirements and acceptance of the law, for example, in the US, you can carry this Benchmade M390. This is the higher version in specs when it comes to bug out. I think the Benchmade has definitely knocked this design out of the park. It is one of the most comfortable daily to carry, and it's so light and so thin is in its handle, but at the same time remains functionality. I think those colors plays wonderfully, as well as the aesthetics of the designs and the overall shape. It is a fantastic pair. This is what affordable means to 007. I truly believe will be a great office pair or a very flashy and dressy environment. They will go together really well with each other. Last but not least, of course, we have a Legend Seikos on the table. This is the Sarb 017. This is the Alpinist. I absolutely love this green. As you can see, I do have a few green watches, so luckily I do have those green blades as well. And this one, of course, is legendary. Another Benchmade here. This is 945, the Mini Osborne. Even though this is not the full length of the 940 Osborne, but you know, this is pretty much the identical shape, and even on the smaller scale, I think it matches extremely well with the Alpinist. Again, another office carry, another legendary in its design, and both of course function at its best at their own game. So Osborne 945, Mini Osborne, and the Seiko Alpinist. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as I made them. I truly believe those pairs speaks volumes when it comes to design and compatibility. If you're a Blades fan, if you already have a knife collection and a watch collection, but you always wanted to, you know, up your games a little bit by maybe acquiring few different folders in your folders collection, but you want to make sure at the same time the watches goes along the game as well. So when you go out of your house, when you're attempting to accomplish any task, whether it's yourself or, you know, with that bit of tactical and self-defense when it comes to the safety of you and your family, you want to make sure you go out in a very fashionable, in a very class on its own. I think you'll be very happy to pick any of those pairs, of course, in your given day, which is what you want to do. So hope you guys again enjoyed the video, and no doubt I'll see you guys in the next video. Any comments that you have, please leave down below. We'll be very happy to join this discussion. Have a great Independence Day everywhere you are, and be blessed. I'll talk to you soon.